You've been taught a lie your entire life, and the worst part? You believed it. They told you that if you just worked harder, hustled longer, and pushed more, you'd finally get what you want. But let me ask you something. How is that working out for you? Are you where you want to be? Or are you exhausted, burned out, and still waiting for life to deliver? Because here's the truth no one wants to admit. What you chase runs away. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because trying too hard is the very thing keeping it from you. This is the backwards law, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The more you strive for happiness, the more miserable you become. The more you chase success, the more it escapes you. And the more you try to be confident, the more insecure you feel. This law isn't some vague spiritual concept. It's real. It's how reality works, and it's been running your life from the shadows. Right now, you think more effort equals more results, but that's the trap. That's the programming. And that's why most people spend their whole lives pushing and pulling and grinding, only to end up with nothing but frustration and failure. Because the backwards law says that wanting something too badly makes it harder to get. The act of wanting screams to the universe, I don't have it. And so life mirrors that lack back to you. It's a loop, a trap, and if you don't break it, it will consume you. Now I know what you're thinking, so you're telling me I should just stop trying? No, I'm telling you to stop chasing. There's a difference. When you chase, you become desperate, and desperation is repulsive to people, to money, to opportunities, to everything. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who was desperate for approval? They try too hard, talk too much, laugh too loud. It's uncomfortable. Now think about the person who walks in a room, calm, grounded, secure in who they are. Everyone turns their head. Why? Because confidence is magnetic. The same principle applies to everything in your life. If you chase love, love hides. If you chase money, money vanishes. If you chase peace, your mind becomes louder. But the moment you let go, everything begins to shift. The moment you stop chasing and start being, life responds differently. Because life isn't responding to what you want. It's responding to who you are. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. And if you are someone who constantly feels like you're lacking, struggling, desperate, then that's exactly what you will continue to experience. The backwards law is trying to show you this. It's trying to wake you up. And the people who figure this out are the ones who rise while everyone else keeps sinking. They don't grind harder, they just align deeper. They don't chase, they attract. They don't force, they flow. Let's break this down. Say you're looking for a job. You apply to hundreds. Obsess over every interview, stress about every email, refresh your inbox 100 times a day. Nothing. Rejection, silence, ghosted. Then one day, you give up. You stop caring. You say, whatever happens, happens. You go for a walk, spend time with friends, live your life. And out of nowhere, the phone rings. A job offer. The one you actually wanted. And you think, why now? It's because your energy changed. You stopped needing. You stopped chasing. And that shift is everything. Or maybe it's a relationship. You try so hard to impress someone. You text first, overthink every message, show up perfect, and they pull away. They stop replying. It's confusing. It's painful. But then you let go. You move on. You start living for yourself. You post a picture. You smile more. And suddenly, they notice. They reach out. They want to talk. It happens so often, we call it coincidence. But it's not. It's physics. It's frequency. It's you stepping out of desperation and into alignment. The backwards law isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing from a place of fullness, not emptiness. From confidence, not neediness. From surrender, not control. And that's hard. Especially in a world that glorifies the grind, that celebrates hustle, that teaches you to chase and fight for everything. But what if that very mindset is the block? What if you've been taught the exact opposite of what works? See, we've been conditioned since birth, conditioned to chase, to want, to crave. From the moment we're old enough to understand words, we're told to set goals, push harder, never give up. But no one teaches us to let go. No one teaches us to trust. And no one ever says that maybe, just maybe, the more you try to control life, the more out of control it becomes. This is the core of the backwards law. Alan Watts said it best: the more we pursue happiness, the more it eludes us. Because happiness isn't something you chase, it's something you realize. And when you stop trying to be happy, you find that you already are. When you stop trying to be successful, you realize you're already enough. And from that place, life begins to shift. Opportunities show up. People are drawn to you. Things flow, not because you forced them to, but because you got out of your own way. The most powerful people in the world don't try to be powerful. They just are. The most successful people don't chase success. They live in alignment. And the happiest people aren't the ones who try to be happy. They're the ones who've stopped resisting what is. This is the truth you've never been told. And this is the shift that changes everything.
Let me ask you something real. Why are you still chasing? Is it because you believe deep down that if you don't, you'll never get there? Or is it because you've been told over and over again that quitting means failure, that rest means laziness, that letting go means giving up? But what if letting go is the most powerful move you can make? What if your breakthrough isn't on the other side of effort, but on the other side of surrender? This world has trained you to panic in the face of uncertainty. It's built a society that celebrates people who suffer and calls it success. But let me tell you something most people will never hear. The ones who win are the ones who stop needing to win. The ones who rise are the ones who let go of the pressure to rise. The ones who succeed are the ones who stopped chasing success and just lived their truth. You've been taught to climb a ladder that leads nowhere, to fight for a life that doesn't even feel like yours. And if you keep going down that path, you'll wake up one day, rich in achievements and poor in joy. So maybe it's time to stop running and start remembering. Remembering who you were before the noise, before the pressure, before the world told you who you had to be. That version of you didn't chase. That version of you simply lived. And that version is the key. You don't have to become someone new. You just have to return to the version of yourself that never needed to prove anything. That's the irony of the backwards law. The moment you stop needing something, it starts showing up. Not because the universe suddenly decides to bless you, but because you finally become the version of yourself who can actually receive it. Think about it. How many times in your life have you clung so tightly to something that it slipped away? And how many times did you get what you wanted the moment you stopped obsessing over it? That's not coincidence. That's clarity. That's energetic alignment. And it's exactly why some people seem to get everything effortlessly, while others spend their whole lives hustling for scraps. Because life doesn't reward those who chase, it rewards those who embody. The rich don't obsess over money, they live as if wealth is normal. The confident don't chase validation, they carry themselves like they already have it. And the peaceful don't fight for inner peace, they move like peace is already theirs. So ask yourself this: are you living like the person who already has what they want? Or are you living like someone who's still trying to get it? Because that answer will tell you everything. Reality mirrors your identity, not your effort. And your identity is built not from what you do occasionally, but from how you live every single day. Let's get deeper. Let's talk about what actually shifts when you stop chasing. First, your energy changes. People feel it. You walk into a room and you don't need attention anymore. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're not competing, not comparing. You're just there, present, full. And ironically, that's when people start paying attention. That's when opportunities start flowing. That's when success starts finding you. Because the universe is not attracted to effort, it's attracted to alignment. You become a magnet, not a beggar. Second, your mind gets quiet. You're no longer overthinking every step, no longer playing out 100 scenarios in your head. You're not rushing, not forcing. You're moving with ease, with clarity. And in that stillness, your best ideas come, your best moves appear, and your best self leads the way. Third, your results become exponential. Not because you're working harder, but because your actions now come from a deeper place, a place of trust, a place of knowing. You're not gambling anymore. You're executing. You're not throwing darts in the dark. You're moving with precision, because when you stop chasing, you start receiving. And that's when everything changes. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman named Ava. For years, Ava chased success. She read every book, attended every seminar, followed every guru. She woke up at 5 a.m., made vision boards, recited affirmations, and still nothing. She was stuck, broke, frustrated. She thought she was doing everything right, but deep down she was desperate. She wanted success so badly it hurt. Until one day, she broke. She threw out her vision boards, canceled her coaching calls, and stopped pretending. She said, "I'm done chasing. I just want to live." And for the first time in years, Ava created from her heart. She stopped worrying about what people thought. She made art, not for money or fame, but because it lit her up. She started talking to people, not to network, not to sell, but to connect. She took care of herself, ate well, slept more, walked in nature, and slowly her life started shifting. People began noticing her work. Clients reached out. Invitations arrived. Within months, she was making more money than ever before, not because she hustled harder, but because she let go. Ava didn't give up. She gave in to herself, to the moment, to trust. And that shift created everything she was once chasing. That's the backwards law in motion. You see, this law isn't about magic or miracles. It's not about hoping or waiting for the universe to rescue you. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to chase because they finally realized they already are enough, that they already have everything within them. And from that place of enoughness, life opens up. Doors that were locked suddenly swing open. People who ignored you start reaching out. Things that once felt so far away now feel effortless, not because the world changed, but because you did. You stopped resisting, you stopped forcing, you stopped sending out the energy of lack. And instead, you became the kind of person who naturally attracts what they once begged for. That's the shift. That's the secret. And no one teaches it because it doesn't sell. You can't build an industry around telling people to stop trying. But the truth is, most of what you want is already on its way. You're just blocking it with your desperation. Remove the block, and it shows up every time. So, how do you live this law? How do you stop chasing and start attracting? Step 1, awareness. Notice where you're chasing. What are you desperate for? Where are you over-efforting? Be honest. Write it down. Feel it. Don't judge it, just see it. Step 2, let go. Let go of the need for control. Let go of the outcome. Let go of the idea that your life only has value if you make it. Start showing up fully in the moment, not for results, not for approval, but because this moment is all there is. Step 3, embody the end result, not as a fantasy, but as a frequency. Start living like the person who already has what they want. How do they wake up? How do they talk? How do they move? How do they think? And then do that every day. Not because it will make something happen, but because that version of you already exists. And by embodying them now, you collapse time. You bring the future into the present. And step 4, trust. Trust the process. Trust the law. Trust yourself, because you've spent your whole life running from this truth. You don't need to chase. You just need to be. And once you fully live from that truth, life stops running and starts flowing. What you once thought you had to fight for becomes effortless. What you once believed was out of reach becomes inevitable. And the person you've always wanted to be, you realize you've been them all along.
There's something strange that happens when you finally stop chasing. You begin to see clearly. You begin to notice the tiny details, the way the sun feels on your face, the way people look at you differently, the way life starts showing up, not because you demanded it, but because you opened up to receive. It's subtle, it's quiet. It doesn't announce itself, but it changes everything. You're no longer acting from pressure, you're moving from presence. You're no longer trying to make it happen. You've realized it already is. And that shift, when it happens, is like waking up from a long dream. You look back at all the years you spent chasing and grinding and pushing, and you wonder, why was I working so hard for something I could have just allowed? But that's the game we've all been trapped in, conditioned to believe that struggle equals value, that exhaustion means you're worthy, that sacrifice means success. But what if it's the opposite? What if the ones who win are the ones who rest deeply, trust fully, and allow life to unfold without forcing it into a shape? That's what the backwards law has always been trying to teach you, that the harder you try, the less you get. But the more you trust, the more comes to you. It's not passive, it's not giving up, it's alignment. It's the highest form of intelligence. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Because here's something no one tells you. Life doesn't reward the ones who chase, it rewards the ones who become. You've been trying to attract things by doing more, working more, fighting more. But life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. And who you are is shaped by what you believe to be true about yourself. So if you believe you're not enough, you'll sabotage every opportunity. If you believe you have to hustle to be worthy, you'll never feel at peace. If you believe life is hard, you'll always find ways to make it harder. But the moment you start believing that what you desire is already yours, you stop chasing and start receiving. Because your beliefs shape your identity, and your identity shapes your frequency, and your frequency shapes your entire reality. That's why the rich keep getting richer. That's why confident people attract attention without trying. That's why the moment you stop obsessing, things start working. Because the energy of lack is repulsive. It pushes away everything you desire. But the energy of certainty, that's magnetic. That's power. That's what draws things to you without force. Take a moment right now. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what am I still chasing? Is it money? Is it love? Is it success? Is it validation? And now ask this. If I already had that thing, how would I feel? How would I move? How would I think, speak, and act? Then start doing that. Not because it's a trick, not because it's a hack, but because it's the truth. You already are that person. You're just covered in stories that say you're not. Covered in layers of fear, insecurity, and doubt that were handed to you by parents, teachers, media, society. Layers that don't belong to you. Layers that are blocking your truth. And the backwards law is the tool that peels those layers off. It's the reminder that letting go isn't losing, it's finding. It's becoming. It's returning to what's real. And once you return, everything changes. The way you speak changes. The way you look at life changes. The way life looks at you changes. Because you're no longer radiating desperation, you're radiating presence. You're no longer trying to get something, you're simply allowing what's already yours to come through. Let's go even deeper, because the truth is, most people will hear this and still go back to chasing, still go back to forcing, still go back to hustle mode. Why? Because it's addictive, because the mind craves control, because letting go feels like dying to the ego. But you're not your ego. You're not the fear, the doubt, the need to prove yourself. You're the awareness underneath it all, the stillness, the clarity. And when you begin to live from that place, everything aligns. You become untouchable. You stop reacting to every little thing. You stop needing external proof. You stop basing your value on numbers, results, or outcomes. You just live. And ironically, that's when the results come. That's when the followers grow, the money multiplies, the opportunities arrive. Not because you chased them, but because you became the kind of person who attracts them without effort. It's not magic, it's not fantasy, it's frequency, and it works 100% of the time when you trust it. The problem is, most people don't trust it long enough. They try it for a week, don't see results, and go back to grinding. But the shift only happens when it becomes your way of life, when it becomes your identity, when it becomes who you are, not what you do. Meet Maya. Maya used to chase everything: clients, attention, sales. She was always in a panic, always trying to make things happen. She lived in constant anxiety until one day she stopped. She stopped chasing, stopped overthinking, stopped trying to control every outcome. She said, "I'm just going to be me, fully." And within weeks, her life changed. Clients started finding her. Her income doubled. She slept better. She smiled more. She lived. And she told me something I'll never forget. She said, "When I stopped pretending, life stopped pretending too." That's it. That's the shift. When you stop pretending you're not enough, when you stop pretending you need to earn love, when you stop pretending life is against you, life responds. Because reality is a mirror. It reflects what you assume is true. Not what you wish, not what you beg for, but what you believe at your core. And when your core belief becomes, "I already have it," then the world has no choice but to catch up. That's the hidden truth behind all success stories. They didn't chase their dream, they became the person who already had it, and the dream showed up. So here's your real challenge: not to chase your goals harder, not to try more affirmations or journal longer, but to stop, to breathe, to trust, to become, to live like the version of yourself that no longer needs to prove anything. The one who wakes up grounded, confident, aligned. The one who walks into every room without needing approval. The one who takes action, not from fear, but from clarity. Because the second you become that person, your life changes. And it doesn't change slowly, it changes fast. Because alignment moves at light speed. And when your energy finally matches your desire, the universe has no resistance. It delivers instantly. The delay you feel is not because your dream is far away. It's because your identity is out of sync. Fix the frequency and the future bends towards you. It can't not. That's how this works. That's what the backwards law has been trying to show you all along. Here's your final reminder. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin this shift. To let go. To stop forcing. To start receiving. So for the next 48 hours, I want you to do one thing. Act like it's already yours. Don't visualize it, embody it. Don't chase it, be it. Talk, walk, move like it's already done. Let the world feel your certainty. Let your energy speak louder than your words. And watch. Watch what happens when you finally stop chasing and start trusting. You'll begin to see it, clearer than ever before. Everything you want is already here. It's not out there. It never was. It's within you, waiting for you to remember, waiting for you to return, waiting for you to finally stop running and just be.